Welcome, everybody. My name is Chris Alamany. You're watching the Alberniweather.ca podcast for February 25th, 2024. Yeah, we got lots to look at today. So I'm going to make this a more regular feature. I would hope that that this would come out and a blog will come out at the same time on the website. That'll be my goal. But I do want to make these video podcasts, video blogs more frequently so that you can start to rely on them and know that you can update your information with them. So with that, I'm going to show you what my setup is going to look like. So every day I'm going to have this, or every podcast, I'm going to have this layout. So I have my Mastodon feed on the left here, and the current temperature and air quality and rainfall from my station on the right. You should be able to see me down on the bottom, and then I'll have the various things that we're going to look at through the webcast in tabs here on my browser. So that's going to be kind of how it works. If you're not familiar with Mastodon, it is a new social media platform that has emerged after sort of the downfall of Twitter, or the change of ownership, at least. It's really great, actually. It has some great information on it. I highly recommend it. One of the biggest features of it is that it is decentralized, so it's not controlled by a large company. You can run your own Mastodon server if you like, and connect it to others, or you can connect to a regional one, or one of your interest. So Alberniweather is on the Mastodon Canada website. It's at mstdn.ca. If you would like to join that server, it's great. It's good. It's got a good group of people on it from all across Canada, and that's where Alberniweather is. But you can join any Mastodon server, and you can find my Alberniweather at mstdn.ca address anywhere that you connect to Mastodon. So that is the social media side of things. And you can find that Mastodon feed on my main web page here. At the bottom, there's Alberniweather at the on the left, and the Alberniweather bot on the right. So you can actually follow. I run my own Mastodon server at home that I host the bot on, as well as my personal Mastodon site. So you can see every 3 hours it updates all of the information from the weather station and puts it straight onto the Mastodon feed. So you can see that if you follow that on Mastodon, or you can find it on the web. Okay, so welcome. And let's look at what we can expect in the next little while. So the temperature, you will have noticed if you stepped outside in the evening, this evening on Sunday, it has gotten noticeably cooler. We were up around 11 or 12, I think, for the high. Yeah, 11.7 was the high today, and we are now down at our lows. It is 3.6 right now. And cooling rapidly. It's clear out. The moon is out. It's beautiful. There are lots of stars out, so that's all good. Now we have some interesting weather here. It's been pretty quiet. That's why I haven't updated the blog at all. It was pretty stagnant there for a little while, but we definitely have something new coming now. So the Environment Canada forecast is for flurries tonight. I don't think it's going to amount to anything, but there might be some flurries in the sky, so that's interesting. Monday, mainly cloudy, 40% chance of showers In the afternoon, wind to 15 kilometers. So we're going to have some chilly wind here. The wind chill is going to be -4 in the morning on Monday. And then we're going to have some clouds and a 40% chance of flurries tomorrow evening. Tuesday, we have periods of snow in the forecast or rain. Tuesday night, periods of snow or rain. Wednesday, it switches to rain and a high of 8. But then Wednesday night, we go back down to a -1 for the low. So we could have rain or snow. And then we have flurries, a chance of flurries for the entire rest of the week, right until Saturday. So, a very active forecast compared to what we've had. So let's look at the University of Washington State forecast here. So it's updated tonight, which is good. That's why I waited for now. So let's just see what we're going to see in the next few days. So we won't go all the way out to the end of the week, but we'll get a good idea of what we can expect. So this is the precipitation for Monday. So it doesn't differentiate between rain or snow. This is just precipitation. So we can see Monday evening there's some precipitation on the east coast of the island, and some pockets there. See those northwesterly winds keeping us cold and bringing down the temperature below freezing. Then we have a system coming onto the island on Tuesday morning. This is the potential snowmaker. So you can see this is in the 7 to 10 a.m. period. It comes onto the island and all the way through Tuesday night into Wednesday. You could see it's most intense on the south end of the island, but we definitely get some in the central island as well, all the way into Wednesday afternoon and evening. So by Wednesday night, it looks like it's starting to let up a little, but there's lots of patches of rain or snow left here. And that's the end of the model for now. So Tuesday into Wednesday. Now let's look at the snow or rain mixture. So we'll go down here. And let's just zoom in so we can see a little better. Go. All right, so if we start it here. So this is tonight, so we can see a little bit of precipitation coming on the island. We see those northwest winds bringing in the cold air. And you can see here, there's the gray is rain. The green is snow. So it is likely already snowing up in Campbell River. This is the 7 to 10 p.m. picture. So I would expect it's probably already snowing in Campbell River. In fact, let's go see. Let's go and look at the webcam here. And we're going to look at the Highway 19. And let's look. Yeah, look at that. So that's WAS right now. And it is obviously snowing. So plenty of snow going on there. Port McNeil, we got snow on the ground on the road. Sitka, can't really see. Looks like there's maybe some snow there. And let's go down here, Port McNeil, Menzies Hill. So this is just outside, just north of Campbell River. It doesn't look like it's snowing actively. There we go. Yeah, so it hasn't quite gotten to Campbell River yet. Looks like Roberts Lake. Yeah, it's not snowing there, but Was definitely snowing. So there you go. So that's pretty much right on schedule. It's 9 o'clock, and there's snow up in the North Island. So we can expect, I think, if we look here. So we can see that coming down and going on to the west coast of the island. Tofino, Ucluelet, Port Renfrew, all expecting snow in this model. So the green and the blue are all snow. Grays and blacks are rain. So so it's expecting snow. In fact, let's go back to the highway cams here and just see, because as far as north-south goes, Campbell River is not too far from Tofino. So let's just see here. Oh, it's raining, but it doesn't look like it's snowing. So there's the Ucluelet Junction, not snowing yet, but it's definitely raining. So you might want to go check out what the temperature is, but we'll leave that to later. Okay, so getting back to the snow here, so we can see that snow starting on the island tonight, and then tapering off by morning. This is Monday morning between 7 and 10 a.m. You can see the snow starting up again on the North Island, and then just a small band coming down here towards Campbell River and Courtney. Let's see how that works out. Yeah, so this is 1 to 4 p.m. Looks like a band of snow stretching from about South Courtney, Bowser area, Denman Island, into Port Alberni, the Alberni Valley, and then looks like the Cowichan, North Cowichan area, Ladysmith. So can expect maybe some snow tomorrow afternoon here, and it won't be a lot, but it could certainly make things interesting on the highway if you're there. There's the Malahat down by 4 to 7 p.m. So it's just going to work its way down from the north to the south through the day tomorrow, basically. And then it's going to clear up, or at least it'll stop on Monday night. And then here we can see this large system coming in, lots of rain. It's pretty big, but you can see it's going to impact this bit of pocket of cold air here, and it's going to start as snow. So that's starting as snow tomorrow. Tuesday, early morning before sunrise. And then in the 7 to 10 p.m. or 7 to 10 a.m. Time period, it's coming onto the island as snow. So we can see that west coast, especially in the higher elevations, a little bit in Port Alberni, probably just some flurries, a little bit more in Campbell River, Courtney, perhaps, and that's mid-morning Tuesday. Looks like snow. So that's pretty interesting. And it looks like it's going to change over. So we can see the changeover happening here. Westerly pushing onto the island, bringing in that warm Pacific air, pushing off the cold air. You can see the rain. It switches from snow to rain in the Alberni Valley right there. And it looks like it's rain on the east side of the island, except maybe around Bowser or Bain Sound. Yeah, so going into Tuesday night, it'll switch over to rain for pretty much everywhere except the high mountain ranges. So that looks like some strong precipitation there. Early Wednesday morning, looks like heavy rain, especially on the South Island. Moving through, and then it looks, see how that's interesting. So it changes, actually changing back to snow, that cold air coming back in and changing back to snow on the North Island at the higher elevations, maybe a little bit in Port Alberni Wednesday morning. But I would suspect that'll be mostly rain. Maybe on the hump, certainly Sutton Pass might see snow still on Wednesday morning, and looks like into the afternoon. So a very active next few days. Lots going on there. I think probably the takeaway here, the simplest thing to say is expect snow at any time in the next few days. If it looks like it's going to fall from the sky, it's probably going to be a mix of snow and rain. But always best to expect the worst and hope for the best. So that's looking like a good little bit of snow. And let's look at what the model expects for us for depth. Bum, 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 bum. So snow depth here. All right, my mouse is not cooperating very nicely. There we go. So if we look in here, yeah, it's not very much at all. So the model is not expecting a whole lot of accumulation, that's for sure. So if we go back to the beginning here, this is Sunday to now. That's Sunday night, so you can see the snow there building up in the Strathcona area and on the North Island, and a little bit on the west coast of the South Island there, Port Renfrew, in the higher elevations, Nitnat. And then it's coming on to, there's the Beaufort Range, so it's getting into the Beauforts, getting onto Mount Arrowsmith, but doesn't look like, just gonna keep going here. Yeah, creeps in a little closer, maybe Sprout Lake. This is 7 o'clock Tuesday, so maybe by 7 o'clock, but maybe by evening on Tuesday, you might see some actual accumulation at Sprout Lake, at least according to this model. This isn't a super high resolution model, so there could certainly be pockets where you'll see more, but it's not really seeing any accumulation for any of these events out to early Thursday morning. So by Thursday, so this is sort of total for this whole model run. So if it's all white here, that means it doesn't expect any snow to actually accumulate on the ground. So so take that with a grain of salt. This is a lower resolution model, and it won't be able to take into account really localized stuff. You can see a little bit in maybe in the deepest Beaufort there up in the valley, Alberni Valley, but yeah, I mean, it looks like East Coast. You can probably bet that there won't be really any accumulation at all, but definitely in the Central Island here towards the mountains, and definitely up by Campbell River, Courtney, it's looking like they expect some accumulation up there. So so we'll see. We'll see. It doesn't look like it's going to be much either way, at least in Port Alberni or on the South Island in the populated areas. Good for the mountains, good for the snowpack. That's good. On that note, why don't we go and check out the River Forecast Center here? And first, I'm just going to look at the flood warnings just to see if they have anything about the upcoming events. Nope. So there's no flood warnings, no advisories in effect. So that's good. Let's go and look at the snow conditions. What is it? 15th. Yeah, so that's the last time we had it was the 15th. So let's look at, we go into that one, we can see the summary. There it is. So let's look at our West Kootenay, East Kootenay, Okanagan, Vancouver Island. So we are, it's the 25th today. It's the 22nd is the last data point. You can see this here is, I'll try to highlight that for you. It doesn't highlight. There we go. So that first one is Wolf River. So that's in Strathcona Park. And it has gone down slightly from the beginning of the month. 55% it was at, it is now at 53. So that should improve over the next week. Jump Creek is still nothing, no snow at Jump Creek. Heather Mountain, which is not far from Jump Creek. Those are both near Lake Cowichan, just north of Lake Cowichan. Heather Mountain is at the west end of Lake Cowichan. It is at 24%. It's actually gotten a little bit better since the beginning of the month. 23 at the beginning, went down to 21, and now it's back up to 24. So that's good news. I mean, it's it's still less than a quarter of normal, but we'll take it. And then Mount Arrowsmith on the south side of Mount Arrowsmith, it oh, that's interesting. It kind of went the opposite direction. So it started at 35 at the beginning of the month, 35%, went all the way up to 40, and then down to 37 a few days ago. So that should improve. I would expect all of these to improve this week. Maybe we'll get up to, I mean, super optimistically, maybe we'll get up to 50%. I don't know, on average for everything. Yeah, who knows? Certainly the Wolf River station will probably increase the most. It's obviously going to get the most snow out of this. You could see on the map there that most of the precipitation is falling as snow on the North Island, so that should improve, maybe up to 60. That's about where it was back in the beginning of January. That would be good. Maybe we'll get up to 30% at Heather Mountain. Maybe we'll not have 0 at Jump Creek. That would be nice. Yeah, we'll see. So we'll keep an eye on it. The next update is next Friday, March 1st. So we'll go and look at that next Friday, and that's good because there'll be a few rain snow events by then. So we should see an improvement there, I would hope. Something's better than nothing. Okay, so let's look. I wanted to look at the radar here. Let's look at the satellite first. So we can see the main sort of band of precipitation is to the south of us here. You can see this very disorganized area sort of over top of the island and out off the west coast of BC. So there isn't a whole lot there. Let's just see if there's any precipitation happening. We had a pretty good little bout of weather, sort of rain, wind today. It was a pretty blustery kind of day today, so that was good to see. This is coming in very slowly. There we go. So we'll just activate that. Yeah, so that looks like the rain that we had earlier, but we're just getting these patches of precipitation. So I would expect the stuff up here towards Gold River and Campbell River likely falling as snow now, and any that come in towards Port Alberni tonight. Certainly the where are we at? Yeah, it's 3.5. So if we get any kind of strong downpour kind of rain, that could certainly fall as snow because it'll pull that temperature down. But it doesn't look like this is really going to amount to much tonight. They're just little patches. So we'll wait until Tuesday for that larger system to come in, and then we can expect to see some interesting weather. Okay. Okay. So we've gone through that. Let's go look at the extended range here. And I'm probably going to have to go. I'm just going to see if it's finished the full. No, it hasn't. So I'm going to go to the last model run, which was Sunday morning. So let's just look at the longer range outlook here, sort of way out. Here we go. So I can see that system coming in on Tuesday into Wednesday, and then it gets less. Yeah, there we go. So there's Tuesday into Wednesday. Thursday, it just goes back to, oh, I thought it would be longer than that. Where's my long one? Sorry about that. Give me a nice long range one. Where are you? There, 96. Thank you. There, let's look at this guy. There we go. So there's Monday moving off. There's Tuesday into Wednesday. Oh, that's as far as we go. Usually we can get out to a week, but that's as far as we're going to go. All right, so that's fine. Well, then let's go to SpotX here. Just gonna bring it up. We can get a look at the real long range forecast. There we go. So if we go to Port Alberni and we go to the 16-day forecast, let's check this out. So we can see the long range sort of picture here. You can see this last week of February going out to March 1st. We're pretty close into just the zero range. Gets cold again next weekend. And then we start to see a bit of a warming trend over zero. So for the high, so maybe below zero the week after next. So Friday the 8th. It looks like, but doesn't look super cold. Certainly not down to the -5 that we're going to see on Tuesday. And our maximums are up around what 4 degrees, somewhere between 4 and 8 degrees. So so not too bad. As far as precipitation, not great. So there's our bump here on Tuesday, Wednesday. We get, it says 91 millimeters of some sort. So that's going to be a mix of rain and snow. And then it's pretty much flat all the way through the beginning of March. Only have 100. So if we have, 90, so 110 by March 8th. So that's only another 20 millimeters or so for the first week of March. And then out to March 12th, 166. So that's another 50 millimeters. So not bad, but not great. We could certainly be better. The snow picture here is pretty interesting. Look at that. Look at that. So up to, yeah, this is pretty optimistic. This is certainly not what the University of Washington model is predicting. So this model, which is the Canadian Long Range, it's the GEPS. This is a Canadian model. It's predicting out to Friday, March 1st, 41 centimeters. 41 centimeters of snow. That's a foot of snow. That's a lot. I don't think we're going to see that, but hey, we'll see what the next few days bring. We do have some freezing rain here that it's warning us about. There's a possibility of freezing rain, but that snow, 40 centimeters by Friday. I don't know about that. We'll see. I don't see that on the University of Washington one, that's for sure. So so we'll have to see. If we look back on the Environment Canada, it says, says periods of snow, periods of rain, periods of snow. So they're kind of mixed on it. So we'll see. We'll see. 40 centimeters. I guess we'll take that as the high side in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so good. That's the forecast. So expect some snow, certainly in the air. I don't think we're going to see 40 centimeters. I think we're going to be a lot closer to zero as far as stuff on the ground. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be treacherous to drive in, especially if you're going over the hump, going over the Sutton Pass, going over the Malahat. That could all be bad news for sure. So I wanted to just take a peek at the BC wildfire website because it is approaching March 1st, which which is going to be the start of our fire season, I suspect. So you can see there's a number of fires on the map. They're all under control. These are all fires, I suspect, that started last year. Let's just pick one here. Discovered, July 22nd, 2023. So these are all ones that have not been sort of cleared out of the system. You can see all the fires that occurred in the Kootenays, in Kamloops, in the Coastal Fire Center. They've all pretty much been cleared away. They're all done and dealt with. But these ones up in northeast BC, especially, and into Alberta, you've been probably hearing about the zombie fires that they're dealing with in Alberta, and we're going to have those in BC as well. We have similar sort of semi-tundra, semi-permafrost areas up in the north there. That's all peat for the most part. That's why it burns through the winter if it's not cold enough and there isn't enough snow to really suck that oxygen out. So it's still burning, a lot of these fires, and they're going to have to keep an eye on them. There's a few red ones here, so let's just look what it says. Hasler Flats. Yeah, look at that. So fire size is estimated based on the most current of information. So it says it's 8 hectares, discovered February 23rd. So that is Friday. So we already have out of control wildfires in the Northeast. It's February. Yeah, that's concerning. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what I was worried about. I would imagine these are, even that one that's out of control, I would say that it's probably one of those low burning ones that they didn't find last year, and it has popped up. Maybe it produced some smoke and someone noticed it, and now they're mapping it. So, but all of these, I would imagine, are all probably from last year. Like they said, they're zombie fires. Yeah, discovered September 13th. So these are all holdovers from last year. So except for this red one, which is a couple days ago. Okay, so the wildfire season has started. It's February 25th. Okay, I think that's everything. Let's look at our almanac here. Hey, look at that. We got some sun. We got some UV. If you get out, have some sun, get some vitamin D. There's the barometer. You can see that front pass this morning, just before noon. That was really the peak of the wind there. You can see there it had 2 peaks actually. It looks like 40 kilometers just around 7 o'clock, and then same just before 12 when that front went by. So you can see that real nice distinction there. That's when the front went by, and there's the radiation. So that was when we cleared up a little bit and got a little bit of sun. So that's good. Okay, I think we're done. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this was useful. And please do like and subscribe to the video and the channel. And I'll see you again soon. Okay.